Yeah, it doesn't matter how many catch, how big or how small they are, everyone, I just take a moment and look at the colours of the fish, and they're just very special, and nothing else comes close for me. They're just top of the tree. Yeah, growing up I started doing a bit of fishing with the old man. He was sort of always into his trout fishing, pretty basic stuff, just sinking worms at places like Oberon Dam, and we'd go to the rivers every now and again. And then sort of late primary school, early high school, started to get into carp fishing with a couple of mates, and we used to go down to the local river all the time. And I went about, would have been 20 trips before I caught my first cod. But once I caught that first one, it sort of floodgates open. I was just addicted to it, and we didn't fish for much else. After that, we used to just come down to the river, chase cod all the time. Yep. We are fortunate enough out this way, out west, where we've got a number of systems that have healthy populations of Murray Cod. I've nearly fished every stretch of every system out here over the years. Put a lot of Ks in on foot, but that's the beauty of it. It's not just about the fish, it's about the scenery and being out on the river and everything you experience with it. The fish are special, but you see some crazy stuff down on the river that you just don't see if you're fishing in a boat all the time. It's kind of like the 4 stages of fishing for me now. Stage 1 is you just want to catch a fish, and that was like me trying to catch my first Murray Cod. After that happens, stage 2 is you just want to catch heaps of fish. Doesn't matter what the size is, you just want to catch as many as possible. And I went through that stage, late teens, where we used to go up to the New England and other places and catch, we'd catch cricket scores of cod over a couple of day trip. As the evolution goes, you go into stage 3, which is the big fish. And then you start to get addicted to the big fish. I think I was about 20 when I caught my first meter cod down here. And that sort of, stepped me into chasing the bigger fish. And then I went fish the dams a lot, and really got stuck into the big fish, just chasing those Murray Cod over a metre. And then you got the 4th stage, which is method fish. And I'm somewhere in between that 3rd and 4th stage at the moment, where I want to catch them on certain methods. I still want to catch big fish, but I want to catch them on certain methods. So for me at the moment, it's using different lures. I like to use lures that other people don't really use very often. That sort of goes into like garage built baits, people that make lures from their shed and sell them, not just the mass produce type of stuff. So that's the way I'm going. Top water, big fish, top water. One day I might lead into fly fishing for them. But I'm sort of in that stage where I want to catch big fish, but I also want to catch them on certain methods and locations as well. Like, I don't really have that allure to go fish for big fish in the dams anymore. I want to catch the big fish on certain stuff and in certain ways on systems like this and rivers that I've fished my whole life, where there's not as many big fish, but they are there. And that's the challenge that I trying to crack all the time now. That's the way I look at it with certain species. When you're a species specific angler like myself, I'd say 90% of the time I'm chasing Murray Cod. That's kind of what I think about all the time. I think that 4 stages of fishing with that species in mind is a good way to look at it. Yeah, he got me into it, the old man. Then I really got the bug for it. He was always do trips with his mates down to snowy mountains and stuff like that. He was just a bait angler. I'd troll Tassie Devils for trout, that type of stuff. But as I started to get it, really catch the addiction, I sort of brought him along with me. And like back then, he used to show me everything, and now I'm kind of showing him everything, which is pretty cool. And he's really got the bug for it as well. He loves the Murray Cod. He's got a shed full of lures. He's probably got 10 times the amount of lures I've got now. So he loves it. He's not as, I'd say, committed as me, and like he's getting a bit older now, so it's a bit hard to be doing the Ks down in the river and stuff. But he doesn't miss a beat. If someone catches a good fish on social media or something, he doesn't miss it. He's on the phone to me straight away telling me about it. But we sort of done 3 or 4 years on the dams together. Really, a lot of mornings, like a lot of 3 a.m. starts out on the dam, which was cool. Spent a lot of time with him doing that, and now he's back down the river with me. He loves it. Like he'll happily go for a fish, take the kayak out, and I might go walk 5 or 6 k's where he'll just fish the one pool and come back and start getting dinner ready and get the fire prep for later. So. Yeah, got a baby due in a couple of months, so it's going to be interesting to see how much time I can spend down on the river when he comes along. But yeah, it's exciting times. Yeah, just thinking, 5-10 years down the track, I'll be able to sort of pass on what I know and the experiences down here to him, and hopefully he loves it, and yeah, we can do plenty of trips together. That'll be the goal, is to sort of get him out here as much as possible, and hopefully catches the bug like I did.
Been pretty quiet. Good to get a bite and land it. We are going for a bit bigger fish though, but they're all special. Best way to release them. Scares you every time. Yep, there he is. Oh, he's not bad. Oh no, he's only seen something different. Oh, there's a big meatery under him. That's what I saw. Huge. Did you see that? Look at him. I'll eat it. Come on. Holy fuck. It was huge. It was a 120 as well, I reckon. He just got followed in by a cod well over a metre. Surprised he didn't get eaten. That other fish would have swallowed him whole. But we'll get him straight back. And
yeah, you got to commit to trying to catch a big fish. It's not easy. Even yesterday when we were on the river, I sort of fell back into throwing a smaller presentation where I was targeting a bigger fish just to sort of get a fish on the board. And sure enough, the small lure worked. But then once I went back to throwing a bigger lure where I was actually targeting a big fish, that's when we started to get a few bigger fish show up. We got a few nice fish, nothing massive, but better quality fish. And I think that's what it's all about. You just got to be committed to coming out here or wherever you fish and throwing a lure that's going to entice a big fish, and be prepared to sort of catch nothing. It's kind of like hero or zero type stuff, where if you continue to throw lures and fish at times when big fish are going to eat, and lures that they're more susceptible to being caught on, yeah, you've got a better chance of catching them, but you've also got a better chance of going home with nothing. So kind of, yeah, it's a catch-22. Like, do you want to go out there and just catch a fish, or do you want to go and target a big fish? And if you want to go target a big fish, be prepared to sort of catch nothing. But whenever you're throwing, for me, it's generally around lure size and throwing big lures and lures that they haven't seen before. If you're throwing a big swim bait compared to a spinner bait, like, there's fish get a lot of pressure these days, and for me, I want to use something that's a bit more realistic and matches the bait that are in the water, like big carp.
There we go. It's a nice cod. On a big bait. It's a DRT Ghost. Massive bait. That's like a 35 centimetre lure. So. Cool fish, really sick eat. Right at the bank. Get those hooks out. That black dot's cool. Remember that. I'll catch him again when he's 90. He's gave me a shower. Far out.
Yeah, the camping is almost, well, it's probably more the camping nearly for me these days than the fishing. Like earlier on when we'd come down, I was just so focused on the fish, and we'd fish and go crazy, fish all night type stuff. But nowadays I can take a step back and really appreciate the camping aspect, and whoever you're with, just sitting down around the fire after a session, enjoy a beer, and cook some good food. I really love, kind of addicted to cooking on the fire these days. So doesn't matter what it is, just cooking basic meat and potatoes, but I absolutely love sitting around the fire, cooking a feed and having a few beers. Yeah, these days it's more gentleman's hours for me on the river. Sort of focus my time on some bite windows that I reckon when the fish will play, and this time of year when it gets colder, I think, the middle of the day is when the fish are going to be at their most active, when the water temps are a bit warmer, which is really great. So you can have a sleep in the morning, get up and have a coffee, and then you can be back here at dark and sitting around the fire, not out freezing in the cold in the middle of the night. So yeah, it's changed over the years where, back in the day when I was sort of just focused on the fish, we'd just go silly and bust ourselves, and we'd be busted for a week from just walking so many Ks. But now I can slow down a bit, and I think it helps with your fishing as well. You just sort of slow down a bit and focus on the areas you're fishing, and yeah, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but you can go back and have a beer at camp, and that's the beauty of it. It's not just about catching the fish, it's the whole thing.
Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, please. Eat it. Oh my God, it's a meatery.
Yeah, I actually got a 116 only a couple of weeks ago. That's my longest river cod. Caught a few bigger ones in the dams, but yeah, for the river, it's 116. I've caught a fair few now over the metre. Don't really have any specific goals. Like obviously, the biggest fish is what you're always chasing. But
it's big. It's a metre. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, stay in there. Come on! It's actually a fair bit longer than what I was thinking. It's not a huge fat fish, but it's very long. It's like a typical river fish, isn't it? It's a cool fish. It makes up. I've just missed an absolute giant, which I actually reckon it's definitely thicker than this one. I don't know what length, but I was calling for 120, but yeah, 10 minutes, 15 minutes later we've got this. That's fishing, eh? I'll give you a quick hold up. Proper river giant, that's what you do it for.
I'm pretty happy with that. Like if a 120 or a 130 popped up, I'd be stoked. But yeah, it's kind of my goals, I guess, is just to keep getting out here as much as possible, enjoying it, and yeah, using different lures, different baits that I haven't caught big fish on, and catching big fish on them. That's kind of what I'm really into at the moment. Yeah, you see some cool stuff. Just the wildlife down here is unbelievable. Like even this morning, I was just sitting out the back there having a coffee, and a platypus was feeding on the bottom, and then coming up to the surface every minute or two. And just watching that, like some people never see a platypus in their life in the wild. So it is, yeah, you come down here for the fishing, but you do have to sort of sit down and pinch yourself when stuff like that happen. You know, you don't take it for granted. All types of things. I think we've seen 2 wombats. We nearly ran into 2 wombats last night.
They're a weird animal, aren't they?
Had a young eagle, wedge-tailed eagle, flying right above us, sort of looking at the fishing lure. There's always something going on. And then in the water as well, you always see, like, you'll be walking along and then you might spot meet a Murray Cod just free swimming. Now I'm getting a bit older, a bit wiser, I sort of sit back and really appreciate all that stuff. I caught a good fish the other day down here, and I was just sitting on the rocks. It was at night, and just started to notice all these shrimp that were on the rocks. Yeah, sat there for about 20 minutes after, just watching these shrimp, and loved it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You get to see some mad stuff down here.
Yep. Oh yeah, he's a bit better. Pretty heavy. Probably about 90 centimetres, maybe just under. Oh.
Yeah, big fish are cool. Initially you're always scared and sort of shocked when they hit the lure. A lot of the big fish sort of come right at the bank or on the surface, so there's always that initial like, oh, when you hook up. Then it's a bit of panic trying to get them in, and then wondering how well they're hooked and if your knots are up to it. Is your line all good? But once you sort of calm down and you see the fish and you see it's well hooked, you can sort of calm down, and that's one of the things always try and tell people or let people know is, yeah, especially when you hook a big fish, you don't have to get it in straight away unless you're in some really gnarly country. Take your time with the fish, don't bring it in straight away and just try and drag it up on the bank. It's not good for the fish, and a lot of the times that's when you'll lose them, when you're trying to rush the landing process. So yeah, it's a pretty special moment when you've got a big one and you're holding it in your hands. I like to just leave them in the water. Always, every fish, doesn't matter if it's big or small, I like to give them a pat on the head and sort of say thank you. That's a special part of it. I've never kept a Murray Cod. I'll never keep a Murray Cod, always let them go. They're a special fish, especially the wild fish. Down in places like this on the river, always let them go and someone else can catch them, or maybe I'll catch them when they're bigger. But yeah, the big fish, once that's sort of over, always, yeah, don't intentionally do it, but you just sort of sit back and you sort of don't know what's happened for a bit there. But yeah, I don't know, I just normally take 10 or 15 minutes, just sit on the bank and regroup and yeah, think about what happened, because it's pretty special. You know, a lot of people fish their whole lives to catch a fish, say over a metre, especially in a location like this where there's not a great deal of them and they're very hard to catch. So yeah, take it in. You'll be telling your mates and your family and your kids probably for the rest of your life about moments like that. So yeah, it's very special, and definitely don't take it for granted. Being able to come down to places like this and catch fish that I've always sort of dreamt of. it's yeah, pretty special.
Yep, got him. There we go. That's the one. That's the one we wanted. There we go. He's a nice fish. He's probably over 90 centimetres, that one. Sick, he hit the ghost off the top there. Missed it. And then he's come back and had a second go and creamed it. He's bloody heavy. Solid fish, very good fish.
Yeah, every time you think that you've got them worked out, they they pull the covers over your eyes, and then all of a sudden you'll go 10 trips without catching a fish. So always learning. Yeah, even yesterday with that big fish trying to eat that smaller fish, like stuff like that just makes you think that fish was probably 50 centimetres and the bigger fish made it look like a tadpole, so it could have easily swallowed that fish. So always thinking like, okay, if that fish is going to try and eat that, well, why can't I throw a lure that's half a metre long, or other stuff like when they eat surface lures. Caught a couple of fish recently with huge water dragons down their throats, and just the way places they come from as well. Like the other day, had a fish that would have had to have been close to 1.20 meters in a rapid that you should have been able to see it sitting there, but it must have been just out of sight, just at the bottom of the rapid, where you would never think that a Murray Cod of that size would be sitting, but sure enough, cast the lure in there, thinking nothing of it, brought the lure across, and this absolute behemoth just rises and smacks the lure. Unfortunately didn't hook up, but that's another thing where you're like, well, there's big fish sitting right up in this flow and next to no water. Like, you wouldn't expect that. Like years ago, I would have just fished the deepest holes, and that's kind of like an old wives' tale, is the biggest fish are in the biggest holes, but nowadays I look at it as the biggest fish are in the shallowest water sometimes. So yeah, you're always learning. Doesn't matter what the species is when it comes to fishing, species or location. They'll always keep you guessing, and yeah, that's what sort of keeps me up at night and makes me want to come back out here. As soon as I get home, I want to get back out here and try something else.